Okay, this video is for River Valley Middle School and Forest Hills Middle School, just to walk them through the process of creating a virtual school. It's quite simple, and I just wanted to show you specifically how I've set it up for the middle schools in District 8 so that you guys can take that role on yourselves if you feel like you need to make some changes. So, right now we're on River Valley Middle School's page, and as you can see, the front face of their page has a lot of information on it and looks really good. To start out, we're going to go into My Classes, and you're going to see that I already have a few classes created right here. The only one you will see is the one that you've been given permission to. So Mr. Carroll will only see his, and Mr. Graham will only see his. Teachers will also see Data Wall and Sweezy on this page as well. So to start the process out, we're just going to go by clicking on Create. You can click on it here, or you can go into Site Actions and click on Create and do the same process. Now you're going to see a bunch of different lists here, and we're going to pick from web pages, and we're going to pick from sites and workspaces. Now, today we're going to use Mr. Legier as an example, so I'm going to type his name in here. So in title we put it the way we would want to see it up here on the top banner, and then in the URL name I'm just going to put Legier all in lowercase. Now when we scroll down in template selection, you'll see there's a bunch of different tabs here to choose from. We're going to click on Custom. Now this looks kind of jumbled. I created a few testers, but I settled on the two on the bottom here with the RVMS designation. And these two here are going to be the ones that I'm going to focus on right now. The site template is the teacher site template. And all you've got to do is click Custom, RVMS site template, and then use unique permissions. I'll get into that later on. Once we click Create or OK, it's going to take us to the permissions page. So we're going to set up the groups for this. Now, right now, the visitors, we want to be the administration because they do have to go on and take a look at what's going on. But this doesn't give them control to go in and add anything or contribute anything. We're going to change the name of members to students just to make it more clear to the students that are logging on and the parents to know what group that they're in. And we'll change owners to teacher. And I'll leave my name there just for support reasons, and I'm going to add Mr. Legier. So we're just going to click on the global address book there, and I'm going to look for Legier. And we can see this is him from EDO8. We click Add, and then go OK. So now the two owners of this site are myself and Matt Legier. So they're the ones that can make changes to it. We'll click OK. So as you can see, it's very simplified. There's a welcome message on the top explaining what this page is. There's just a little area here for upcoming events. So any event that you add to a calendar or just add new event is going to show up in here. And that's just for if you wanted to add something for your grade level or just for your class, if there's something that you want parents to know about or supplies that you want them to get. But I don't like this navigation panel here on the side, so what we've gone in and done with other sites is we'll go to Site Actions, Site Settings, Tree View, you can see right here, and we'll get rid of the Quick Launch. That's the navigation panel you saw before, and we're going to enable Tree View. Click OK. Now when we go back to Mr. Legier's site, you'll see that it's changed a little bit over here, and all you can see is just announcements, events, and useful links if you wanted them, and that's all that's on this page here right now. So it's less cluttered on the side. Now, before we go any further, we also want to change the permissions to allow students to give themselves access. So we're going to go to Site Actions, Site Settings, go over to Users and Permissions, and click on People and Groups. Now in here you're going to see all the different groups on the side here. So there's students, teacher, you'll see myself and Matt Legier pop up, and the visitors is going to be the admins. We've already created that. But we need the students to get access. So within students we're going to go into Settings, Group Settings, and now we see the name of the group is here, the owner of the group is Mr. Legier, teacher, and we want them to have access to this page. So we're going to allow access to this page. Now before there used to be an email that you would have to accept, and that would probably constitute about 100 or 120 some, depending upon how many students you teach, emails in your inbox to deal with at the end of the day. I think the easiest thing to do is just auto accept requests. The other thing we want to make sure is we don't want to give them contribute rights. We want to set them as students in a class. Makes sense? We'll just click OK. Now, so this is just going to be his teacher page. And in order to make it a little bit easier for teachers to manage their classes, what we can do is create sites for each of the subjects that each teacher is responsible for. So we'll go to Site Actions, Create, Sites and Workspaces, call it English, URL I'll just put as LA. We'll go back down to Template Selection, go to Custom, and this is where we're going to select RVMS Subject Template. Now, the difference when creating the subject one is we don't want to change the unique permissions. We want to keep the same permissions as parent site. The parent site in this case will be Mr. Legier's home page. So all the students that have permission to go to Mr. Legier's class will have permission to go to all the subjects he has on his page. So we don't need to go and do any unique permissions. We're just going to keep it the same for his teacher page. And click Create. Now it'll take a second or two to process it, and then we'll see the subject page will come up. So the subject page looks a little bit different, but the first thing I'm going to do is go in to Site Actions, Site Settings, go to the tree view, and get rid of the old navigation panel and put the tree view back in there. Okay, and we'll go back to the English page. Everything is accessible from the top level right here, just for ease of navigation. So now you can see the tree view gives us a different view on the side here, and it shows you all the different libraries we have access to. The nice part about this is now the student has a Dropbox that he can throw stuff into. But let's just walk through this page a little bit. You can see that there are class documents here, so that way anytime you upload something specifically for English, all the English documents are going to be right here. And this is why we decided to make separate sites for the different classes, because that way you're not going to have English mixed with social studies and all that kind of stuff. You're going to have documents and class documents that are specifically for that subject. You have useful links here if there's links you want the students to go to, and you can also add topics for discussion. Again, this has a separate welcome message. This just kind of explains to the students what the subject page is and what they can do on this page. I've also added the assignments and events calendar, so anytime you add an assignment, it will show up right here for the students to view. And you can add attachments to assignments that you create as well. The easiest way to go and do that, is to just go into upcoming assignments and events, click on that, new assignment. You can also create an event too if there was a public event where you wanted to share some of the work with other teachers, or if you wanted to share it with parents or something like that. But you just click on assignment, fill in the title. You can attach a file here and give a description as well as a start time and an end time. So let's just try one right now. Test. Start time today at 12. End time Friday at 12. Hit OK. And now that's going to show up there. So the students can see it right on the page there. And they'll be able to view that. The other benefit of the virtual school is the Dropbox, and I think this is why virtual schools have become so popular. So let's just check out that. So as you can see, this navigation menu is always here on the side, which is good, so they can easily navigate within a class to the pages that they want to go to. Let's just go to Dropbox right now. So within Dropbox, the students can upload any of the documents that they want. So they'll click on Upload, and they can upload a document or multiple documents if they want. The beauty of this with the Dropbox, when we set them as students, is that the students only get to see the documents that they have uploaded. They can't see any other students. So again, that also brings to light the point is it's not really a big deal if a kid gets access to another teacher's site, because there's not really much they can do. They can only touch data or documents that they've uploaded themselves. So it's really simple, and within this, if you taught multiple classes, we could go new folder, We could put it as if he taught different teachers, or if he taught different classes, then he could create different folders for the different homerooms that he teaches. So teacher A, okay. Teacher B, okay. And then the students would be able to drop off their assignments within that specific folder. The beautiful thing about the tree view as well is you can see the little plus sign here to the left. Whenever you add something within a library, when you're using the tree view, you can actually get to the site or the page directly without actually having to open up multiple pages. You just use the tree view, and when I want to go into teacher A, I open up teacher A. So from here, within this teacher's class, you wanted to add an assignment, create a folder, assignment 1, and hit OK. And then that way, if once you told the students, okay, teacher A's class, I need you to hand in assignment 1, they can just go to the Dropbox, hit plus beside the teacher A, then click on assignment 1, and upload it to this page here. So I feel this is a lot easier way for the students to navigate, and there's less clutter on the side here for the students to get distracted or not know what's going on. So let's go back to the main English page. Alright, so this is a subject page. These are all the attributes and features of it. And this is the teacher page. So it's a lot less cluttered. If you want to add an image in here of the River Valley Raider logo, you could add that in there as well. I kind of left this blank so you can customize it as you wish. But this will also fill up quite a bit if you added events and added announcements and useful links here. And you can move these things around on this page if you want as well. I just felt that it was less cluttered. You don't want to have students getting distracted. You just want them to be able to find what it is they need to find. So from this page now, one of the things you'll see that has popped up is the actual subject. English is right here. So which is really quite nice. And again, you get that little plus feature again. So when the kid goes right to Mr. Legier's page, he can click the plus beside English, the plus beside the Dropbox, plus beside teacher A, and then double click on assignment 1, and it'll take him straight to that library where he can upload his work. So there's a lot less clicking through pages, and it's just going through like a drop down menu here for them to easily navigate to the place that they need to drop off that assignment. So these are just basically the basic features of how to create a class within virtual schools. If there are any questions, don't hesitate to email me at philip.sweezy@nbed.nb.ca.